Welcome to Thanks for Watching. I'm Zach Toombs.
And I'm Lauren Zima.
You're not Lauren Zima.
Okay, I'm Christian Bryant.
No wig?
No wig. I was gonna come out as
Former co-host Lauren Zima.
Former employee,
friend. Other than that, the resemblance is striking.
Obviously.
Actually.
Well, that's why I'm the proxy today.
Yeah,
that's why I'm the stand-in.
I figured viewers wouldn't notice. Today we're talking about nostalgia TV, the return of some favorite TV shows from the 90s and the past few years, and Hollywood's lack of good ideas.
Also, Tidal for all or Tidal for none, because nobody's going to sign up for that.
And we're looking at the new trailer for Spectre and just rampant Bond speculation, which
somebody's going to die.
I really enjoy. Well, that's probably a good bet. That happens typically in 007 films.
This is going to be so awesome.
All right, here we go. MGM, Columbia.
A Sony company. So it's a shot of MI6.
Yep, it's blown up in Skyfall.
What is it?
Can we pause on Naomi Harris for a moment?
You got Moneypenny back in the game.
So here's the thing. My attention span was just shot after seeing Naomi Harris.
You just went Google Images Naomi Harris.
Yeah, I mean, I love her. I
later.
love her that much. I mean, I'm already in just for Moneypenny.
All right, let's
I
keep
can't
going.
compete with Bond. So he still got his apartment.
All right, something about this photo I want to point out.
Something you can't tell anyone.
Here's the photo. All right, so as a Bond book reader
Speculation.
and avowed, declared 007 nerd, I want to point out.
He's serious about that too.
I'm very serious. I don't joke about this. So we already know from the plot details that have been released that the name Oberhauser is involved in this film, Spectre. Oberhauser, in the Bond novels by Ian Fleming, was this sort of father figure to James. And, you know, James's parents died when he was young. Hans Oberhauser, an Austrian, took him in and kind of served as a father figure for him, and later died in some sort of climbing accident. And
what a Bond way to go out.
There are two people in this photo, there are two kids in this photo, rather. One of them is James, so we think, and one of them is Hans's son, who was kind of like a brother figure to James, whose name is Franz Oberhauser. And we think that Christoph Waltz, who seems to be playing the villain in this film, definitely is playing the villain in this film, is Franz Oberhauser.
You obviously did your research because this is the very first time I'm ever hearing about Oberhauser. I watched this for the guns and the all-black turtleneck and the holsters and the beautiful women in the cars that are going to explode.
The real question surrounding Spectre is, will we see a return to the fashion peak that 007 demonstrated at the Skyfall mansion, where he looked like he had just stepped out of a J. Crew catalog.
I mean, that's
shotgun not included.
That's him every movie.
All right, let's keep moving.
Because you don't trust anyone.
That's true, he doesn't. All right, so the shooting locations: Austria, Mexico, Italy. This clearly Austria.
Is that clearly Austria?
I think it's not Mexico. We can say with confidence.
So by process of elimination, we know it's Austria.
All right. Monica Bellucci, who's one of the Bond women in the film. Aston Martin DB10, the new Bond car.
You really did your homework for this. What kind of ring is that?
No idea.
What size is it?
Cast iron.
What is that?
All right.
You're a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
You know, that's what people usually say to me when I'm out and about.
Get a lot of that from bartenders.
That's it.
You order a whiskey ginger for the it's like 2 a.m.
Either a whiskey ginger or an old fashioned,
and
they say,
and the bartender turns to you and says, "You're a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bryant."
And I usually respond by saying, "Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment." So this gentleman here, I know that you have some background knowledge on who this person might be, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that is Darth Sidious. What is happening with that man?
Okay, so this is Mr. White. So we saw him in Casino Royale, and in Quantum of Solace.
Okay.
And he is the guy who, at the end of Casino Royale, Bond snipes, shoots him in the ankle, and he falls down, and he's like crawling, and then Bond delivers the...
The name's Bond. James Bond.
He's been through a lot.
But he hasn't gotten any sleep, obviously.
He was the boss of Quantum, which was this shadowy organization that kind of seemed like a quasi-Spectre. So Spectre is the name of the new film. Spectre is also the name of the evil organization run by Blofeld in all the classic Bond films and the Bond novels. Blofeld is the model for the egomaniacal supervillain. He is the guy who strokes the white cat. So Dr. Evil is just...
That's not a metaphor. That's like literal. The guy who literally strokes the white cat.
No, that's definitely not a euphemism.
Okay.
No.
All right.
He's a little over the top. He became a little over the top for the Bond franchise.
$1 million.
For a couple decades. Now they seem to be bringing back Spectre, this evil organization, and Blofeld. Let's keep going here.
The music.
Welcome, James.
Sounds like a child's xylophone playing in the background, which is fear-inducing, obviously.
Here we are.
That's obviously Christoph Waltz.
So you're right. That was Christoph Waltz, undeniably his voice, right? Very distinctive voice. Again, he's listed in the film as Oberhauser. We think that's Franz Oberhauser, who is this sort of brotherly figure to James when they were children. And he seems to be the head of a shadowy organization, which is clearly called Spectre. So
Actually shadowy, because you cannot see his face, because there
both
is a...
metaphorically and quite literally shadowy.
shadows cast all over their faces. I don't even know if they know what each other look like. They don't know. They don't know who
the
else is in
lighting
the
has to
organization.
be just so in their conference room.
I tell you what, somebody did a great job.
Hey, I'm excited.
I am too.
I want to talk about nostalgia TV because we've got a lot of news lately. X-Files coming back.
Mulder and Scully.
Mulder
at
and
it
Scully
again.
coming back. Coach coming back, starring Craig T. Nelson.
I wonder what that one's about.
Call him Craig Nelson. It doesn't sound right.
No,
It's
Craig
always
T. Nelson's fine.
Craig T. Nelson. And Heroes on NBC, which, I mean, didn't even have that successful of a run, is coming back to NBC. So let's talk about this phenomenon of nostalgia TV, of all these old series coming back. Is this a good thing? Is it a good thing for viewers?
Is it a good thing for the franchise?
Is it a good thing for the-
will it taint how
the
people used to
canon?
view the will it taint how people used to view the old episodes?
So you believe in these sort of things?
Let's just say I want to believe.
I personally feel like these reboots are almost like sequels that just don't need to be made. Honestly, leave them alone.
So you're concerned about the effect on the canon.
I believe so. I think that was my first bit of reservation. I don't want.
They're gonna taint the brand. So
Yeah,
X-Files
maybe.
might kind of.
And so people may have like fond feelings about Coach and Craig T. Nelson, Craig Nelson. They may have fond memories about X-Files. They may have fond memories about Heroes. But when you bring it back, I don't see much good coming out of it. But I am a perennial optimist. I could also see it being wildly popular with.
I'm surprised
with a new group of viewers.
I have faith in how they're going to handle the source material. I guess what I'm asking myself is, can we come up with some new ideas? Can we? Why do we keep bringing it back? Millennials or Generation Y or whatever you want to call us love nostalgia. Can't get enough of it. Jimmy Fallon, most popular skits, playing GoldenEye on N64 with Pierce Brosnan, bringing back the cast of Saved by the Bell.
Running through the history of rap, the history of different forms of music.
And Jimmy Fallon is basically just BuzzFeed in Tonight Show format.
and
That's all it is.
the human embodiment of BuzzFeed doing a
and
late
these are
night
very
talk show.
popular programs, websites, etc. They all really feed off of that nostalgia factor, and that's what we're seeing, nostalgia TV.
I'll boil it down to this. Why? Just why?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean...
Why do these all
there's
over
a clear,
again?
There's a clear reason why for the studios.
If it worked well before, maybe it'll work well again.
There's a built-in audience, and really at this point, especially with films, not so much with television, but especially with the big screen, so much goes into most movies that you really can't afford to take a lot of risks. And that's why you get these
Fast and Furious 7.
7, or, Disney just decided to buy Star Wars and just pop out a new Star Wars movie almost every year.
Taken
because
3.
There's a built-in assured audience. And you'll have a bit of an assured audience with X-Files or with Heroes. So even though Heroes didn't perform that well, they know some people are going to watch it, at least some people.
With the
which is
show,
more than they can say for some new ideas.
There's no surprise between the two of us that I like most things. You hate most things.
Wow. That's a bit of a black and white view.
It is.
There's some great... Okay.
I didn't say it. You said it.
We could call...
I didn't know this was going to turn into a race discussion.
How about a new name for this podcast?
Black and white. Just black and white. How we were going to introduce ourselves is Zach Toombs and Black Toombs. That's how we were going to introduce ourselves.
Today is the day that we begin that journey together, all of us as one.
So let's talk about Tidal for All,
Or
Jay-Z,
none.
or for none. Jay-Z's new music streaming service, in which he lined up just a smorgasbord of popular musicians and artists
Upper management of the Illuminati.
to sign his very own Declaration of Independence from Spotify. I mean, they really did line him up like the Founding Fathers.
That was
and
just-
had him sign like they were joining a very exclusive club.
Did they do it with a quill? I didn't pay very close attention.
I would not have been surprised. Maybe we want to run back the tape on that and then
Can we
check.
see that? Jay-Z's bored. Jay-Z is just
Doesn't Jay-Z
bored.
have enough going on?
I figured he did, but everything about this title announcement was just strange. I've read a lot about what people have to say about it, and it's very critical. Like every single article was just filled to the brim with snark, and you can't help but to look at that announcement and say, what the f- are people doing right now? Seriously, like what are they doing? And then they have that promotional video where Jay-Z's talking about how he's going to change the world with this music service.
I think the thing that is drawing the most criticism about this campaign, and the thing that really bugged me and a lot of people, they dressed up the unveiling of this music streaming service, this expensive music streaming service, as a social cause. It's not a social cause, it's a business that very rich people are going to make more money off of. It was the language that was used about changing the world and whatnot. It was also just the techniques that they used to spread the message, and that they asked participating artists to change their avatars, their social media profiles.
Like a blue Tidal wave blue.
So like Arcade Fire and others changed as if they were advocating for, breast cancer awareness or something. It was very strange and poor taste, honestly.
It's laughable, honestly. I can't imagine what it's like to be in their position and have so much money and so much influence and want to do something good. I see the intent, I guess. I see the intent, but the execution was problematic. The execution was so problematic.
The reason they're doing this, they claim, is because they feel like they're not getting a fair shake with the other music streaming services that are out there, and that Spotify and others don't give them a good deal, or a good cut of the revenue, essentially.
And also, audiences aren't hearing the best sound possible. The price point is another thing that kind of comes to mind. You're paying twice as much as you would for a Spotify premium subscription, and what is it that you're getting? Hi-fi sound, expertly curated editorial content.
Or your idea,
Illuminati membership.
I'd
pay $20 a month for an Illuminati membership. What does that entail? I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back to my, conspiracy theory websites.
If Jay-Z can tie in Illuminati membership, I think this would do well.
This will be awesome. If it does particularly well, that could put Jay-Z in the actual billionaire boys club, which would be interesting. He goes from, Reasonable Doubt, Hood Ninja, stab charges, and now to a billionaire, and he's married to Beyonce. And
Well,
they have a
in
beautiful
fairness,
child.
he's not a businessman. He's a businessman.
Man.
I mean, I think that Spotify and others have enough of a hold on the market right now that it's going to be very difficult for Jay-Z and co. to break into that. And I don't think they've made a very good sales pitch so far. They've actually turned off probably more people than they've turned on to the idea.
I guess that's thanks for watching. Do we want to end on anything?
We usually end with, thanks for watching. and then we leave.